12 minutes to play as we get set for the second quarter of action here at Albert Matthews Field. Harrison driving, compliments a la Nunez. A nice night so far, minus one turnover. There's the give up the middle. Going to have room, pushes the pile ahead. He'll be shy of the 30, make it the 32. Second down. Successful as they move the chains again for the Hoyas.
Fisher is normally an inside linebacker, and they bring him over to play their fullback to try and get a big guy that can able to move his feet and will take a hit to try and move the pile, and it worked. We've seen him take the ball 2 times, and he's got 7 yards, and, I mean, that's pretty good if you're asking me for a fullback to get 2 carries and have 7 yards.
Nunez in the gun, motion this time. He'll fake to Ryan, keep right in, got trouble. He'll be wrapped up, but he'll push ahead to the 30. Nunez looked to be caught for a gain of nothing. Instead, will productively power forward for at least a yard.
If I'm Coach Cobley, I'm telling my quarterback to hold the ball. He's holding it up, trying to, like Mike Vick almost, trying to swim move with the ball in his hand. It just takes one awkward hit, and that ball is knocked out and it's laying on the ground for North Cobb to pick it up and possibly score a touchdown, as we saw him do that last week. Or 2 weeks ago.
Duluth leads 14-0 over Meadow Creek into the first quarter. Nunez takes the snap, drops back, looks, has pressure, throws to Jones, off his hands, but complete to number 7 for the Hoyas. That's Keegan Karam with the reception, and Jones just has the dropsies tonight. If you're Marty, I've got your halftime adjustment prior to halftime. Grab you a tube of Stickum and rub it generously all over his hands.
Take those gloves off is what he needs to do. That's the problem. He thinks those gloves are sticky, and they're not sticky at all. Nunez took a hit after that play, too. I'm surprised he needed the help of his offensive lineman to get up, but he did a good job of staying in the pocket, expecting the hit, and making a catchable ball that let up got tipped but still caught.
You know, I know this will take us back away into the tunnels or the black holes, the time machine of history. But back when I was playing, I had a buddy who took Stickum and put it all over his gloves, and it worked really well until he laid out to catch one pass, catching himself with his hands and got up with about half of the turf on his gloves. The umpire quickly helped him out of those gloves and allowed him to play without them for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, you'll get a flag for that, and you'll probably get kicked out of a game. They don't mess around when it comes to cheating, because that's not fair to anybody.
Harrison comes to the line, 10:33 to play, 3rd and 1, ball on the 22-yard line. Chains resting just outside of the 21. There's the give up the middle. He'll have the first down and more as White, the senior. 1st and 10, the Hoyas move the chains once again.
That was finally the traditional wing tee that we've been waiting to see from a wing tee offense, and it paid off. I'm surprised they have Deuce White back there at fullback. Normally they have a bigger guy, like a traditional fullback, not a speed back there, but it paid off. And Coach Cobley, who kind of invented the wing tees, doing a good job of transitioning between to keep this defense guessing.
10-18, 10-17. Nunez takes the snap, drops back, pressure from the backside, squares, throws, has his receiver, but just outside the outstretched arms of number 3, senior Chatham Carter. He had it, but the backside pressure there from number 5, Emmanuel Slaughter, who had the earlier interception, caused enough pressure he really just could not square his shoulders to hit Carter.
And he is a right-handed thrower, so to be rolling to the left and having to make a come from across your body throw is really hard to do. He did a good job of catching where only his receiver could catch it, no one else, to make sure that no one could intercept it.
Stockbridge 14-0 over Griffin in the second quarter. Nunez, there's a false start, and that looked like the play on Sunday last week where the Lions coach took the credit for the miscue. I've never seen the center be the only one on the field who doesn't know the snap count, but everybody was still, except for the Snitters, he fired the ball and potentially cost the Lions their game. But I credit Jim Schwartz with the leadership, being willing to take that for the team and remove the pressure from his players.
Yeah, he's a good coach. We've seen him change the Lions a lot in the past couple of years, starting with the Georgia boy Matthew Stafford.
Speaking of changing, Marty doing a great job here for the Hoyas. Nunez drops back, backside pressure. Nobody saw him or picked him up. Number 20 on the shot. You guessed it. Once again, it's Jalil Cuckoo on the tackle.
That's the problem with having a young line. They do have 4 juniors on their offensive line with not a lot of playing time, and they're not looking back on the backside or the blind side of the quarterback to see if he's going to come up and get hit or get popped. And Jalil came off and made a nice hit on Nunez and threw him to the ground.
North Cobb playing more of a 4-3 defense tonight with 4 guys in the defensive backfield. Cuckoo on the right end. He'll drop back, looks, had his man. Nunez did, number 3, Chatham Carter, but Carter heard the footsteps of Cuckoo as he stomped in the near proximity.
That was an interesting pass for Nunez to throw. It would have only been a gain of about 3 or 4 before he got hit. Nowhere near picking up the first down that they really needed. So it's going to bring up a 4th and long. And I'll be interested to see if they try and punt it and pin him deep if they're going to take a field goal. This is going to be a long field goal if they try and kick a field goal.
Hutchison back instead. They're going to opt to punt. Hutchison will be standing just outside of the 45. There's the snap. High kick, angled at the right corner of the end zone. Lands at the 1. And unfortunately, you can't catch the ball in the end zone and throw it back across the plane, and that'll be a touchback. Credit Jimmy Hutchison with a great job. It landed at the 2, but nobody caught it. Instead, they opted to try to toss it back, and he was in the end zone. That'll be a touchback, 1st and 10 from the 20. North Cobb will be in business.
Once it crosses the plane, you can't touch it. You can't try and throw it back, hit it back. Once it crosses the plane, that's all she wrote. And Hutchison did a good job. The punt coverage wasn't down there to try and stop the ball before it got down in the end zone.
Queen going to put it in motion now for the Warriors. Takes a snap, give, that's Miller, left side, has room across the 25, looking for more. He'll have the 27, maybe the 28 based off the spot. About 8 on the pickup there, 2nd down and 2 coming up with 9:02 to play.
This Hoya defense has shown that they're going to be a strong contender, and right there they let up a little hiccup and they busted it for about a 5-yard gain, and that's credit Nick Jones for keeping his feet moving.
Poor spot, looking for room, had his receiver, gonna hit the ground, I thought. Now he'll intercept it, ball hits the ground, and we'll wait for the call.
Pass was intercepted by the Hoyas and then fumbled and recovered by the Warriors.
How about that? How many times do you see that? The interception, you cough it up about 2 yards farther up the field. First down for the Warriors off the fumble recovery, and they'll be in business from their 34-yard line. Queen in the backfield. He'll have Herod to his right. Drops back, looks quick. He's under pressure. He'll look to run. Now he'll throw deep downfield. Threw it up and overthrows his intended receiver. Going to be a pass interference call. That pass intended for number 6, Justin Palmer. Romeo Lewis for the Warriors. And the flag going to be, I believe that was number 45, Hunter Fuqua. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's Hunter. And the replacement refs might be out here. That I don't know about that one. That's a tough flag to throw, especially when it passes like that. I mean, I don't even know if he touched him at all. It's a rough call. Are they going to wave it off? It looks like.
This is interesting. Pass interference, the call on the defense. So that'll be Fuqua. First down. They'll move it 15 yards. So the ball will be resting just shy of.
That is an interesting call. I don't know if the real refs were watching this. I don't know if they would have thought that was a pass interference call. Not trying to be biased, but that was a tough call to make.
Just shy of the 50. Ball at the 48. Queen in the backfield. He'll have Herod to his left. Twins to either side. Long count. Whistle to put it in play. Snap, drops back. Queen rolling far left sideline. Turns, fires. Has his receiver trying to come back to the ball. Good job by the defensive secondary. I got to tell you, Matt, I'm very impressed with the secondary coverage so far in this game. Not going with a zone, a true man-to-man with a very, very talented lineup of wideouts for North Cobb.
Jones did a good job of getting to the inside of that pass and breaking it up. Now, that pass might have been an interception, as it looked like Jones grabbed his jersey or pass interference, but they didn't call it. These calls are a little interesting, if you ask me.
Second down, 10 coming up. Matt's faithful, trying to hold as Nick Miller takes the snap, goes around the end, ball on the turf, recovered, and it'll be Harrison Hoya football. 5 turnovers, Matt. Actually, make that 6. We had an interception in the end zone. We had a muffed punt. We had another interception by Slaughter. We had an interception, then turned around by a fumble, and now number 6 is Nick Miller fumbles the ball on the North Cobb side of the football field.
To be in week 5, that's just unexcusable. You have got to kill the turnovers and penalties by week 3.
North Cobb losing the turnover battle here so far. Nunez under center, going to give to his back, hit immediately in the backfield. And that's number 9 on the stop for the North Cobb Warriors, Igosa Agbunkye.
It looked like Deuce White kind of stopped. He saw the hit was coming, and he tried to fall to the ground to avoid a big hit, which is really surprising because we've seen this kid take it right up the middle a couple times and pick up some substantial amount of yards. So interesting by Deuce White to do that.
This time Nunez in the gun. Drops back, looks, bubble screen, has Jones across the 35, 40. McEachern leading Kennesaw Mountain 11-0. We were talking earlier and got interrupted by that fast-paced offense by Queen and the North Cobb spread. But Hillgrove leading Marietta 7-0 early in the game, who suffered a last-second loss to McEachern off of a 2-point conversion also on Georgia Prep Sports and the IBN Sports Network last week. Interesting to see how Marietta bounces back, Matt. Ball on the ground.
Going back to that's how you find out what your team is made of after a heartbreaking loss in seconds, to being able to come back next week and really put it up on the scoreboard for your home crowd.
4th down from the 38-yard line after the fumbled punt recovered by Harrison. They'll need about 3 for the first down. The chain's sitting at the 35 even to move the markers.
If I'm Coach Marty, I'm going to go for this. Your defense is playing very well against some man and stopping the run. Why not? Why not just throw one up and maybe you'll get lucky and come down one and keep the clock running and move the ball.
Coach Queen and company elect to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. You're listening to the IBN Sports Network live from Albert Matthews Field. Homecoming for the North Cobb Warriors as they lead 7-0 with 6:53 to play in the second quarter.
The cows want you to eat chicken for breakfast. And, of course, lunch and dinner. They strongly suggest that you make chicken biscuits, chicken minis, or anything else with chicken your first order of the day. Only at Chick-fil-A.
Welcome back. Thanks to Burnt Hickory Baptist Church for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. 6:53, they were over at Tailgate at Altoona tonight for their Radiate Tailgate. Matt Petty, the fearless leader for the Radiate Ministry at Burnt Hickory. Nunez under pressure, looking, hits his receiver, and they will call it complete inside the 35. That ball will be at the 32, make that the 33-yard line. Nice job by Nunez and his receiver to work back to him, Matt.
Jones did a good job of seeing Nunez having to roll out of the pocket, break back, and come back to him and make a good catch. Jones, who's lost a couple early, did a great job of being able to catch and get the first down when they really needed it.
Upset alert. Deep in the second, Woodstock up 7-6 over Lassiter. There's a snap. Nunez looks, has Jones, but overthrew him. Incomplete. Second down and 10 coming up, ball on the 33. Upset alert again. Woodstock over Lassiter in the second, 7-6. Woodstock yet to win a game, Matt. Lassiter undefeated. With that send shockwaves through the GHSA football fandom.
You can never overlook an opponent. I hope they did not overlook Woodstock. Woodstock is a good team. They have some good athletes. You give them a second, they're going to exploit it.
There's a snap. Nunez right side, bubble screen to Jones. Shades a tackler, moves up ahead field. He'll have about 4, make that 5 yards after the carry. Still scrambling for the ball. It's a fumble by Jones, and the 7th turnover of the game. The 3rd turnover ending a successful or momentum-oriented drive for the Hoyas. North Cobb takes over at the 31-yard line.
Harrison averages almost 5 turnovers a game, and that is, I'm not saying that they're not a good team, but turnovers will kill a team dead in their tracks. When you have a great drive going, then all of a sudden you fumble the ball or you intercept it or anything, it's going to kill your team in your drive.
Queen in the gun, long snap count. Takes the snap, rolls to the right near sideline, steps up, has his receiver tipped up in the air, intended for number 11 for the North Cobb Warriors. Leon Jordan, the intended reception, incomplete. Looked like Queen forced that a little bit to me, Matt. I would have liked to see him tuck the ball and run upfield. There was at least 5 to 7 yards in front of him.
He was thinking big picture, not small picture, trying to get 7 to 8 yards and make a nice pass instead of just maybe taking a hit.
Long count again, twins left and right in that spread. Harrod in the backfield. Queen drops back, looks, quick pass, trying to hit his receiver. Intended for number 5, Emmanuel Slaughter, incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 10. You know, when you don't get any momentum going here, as we've seen with North Cobb, other than that first drive off the run that sparked it from Harrod, it's hard to get momentum with that spread, and not a lot of time runs off the clock while you're on the field when it's incomplete pass, Matt.
Yeah, the spread is a great offense to run. It's a very tempoed offense. You move the ball quick, but when things aren't working for you, you're in trouble. As we've seen, North Cobb in about 3 drives been 3 and out every time. It hurts.
Empty backfield, trips near sideline, twins to the opposite side in the spread look for North Cobb. Queen in the backfield, gun, takes the snap, drops back. Here comes stunt pressure. Looks, has a receiver, going to be caught and complete. Credit Nick Little, the senior, with the catch. And we've got Queen with a flag in the backfield. Looks like that's going to be a personal foul, and Queen is down hard. He took a shot to the head right there.
It looks like it's going to be roughing the passer, and Queen got hit hard. He tried to walk up, and he fell right back down. You saw his whole offensive line and whole team running right to him, trying to get him up and make sure he's okay. He's a huge, critical part to this this team, and when he's out, it's not good. You got the fans booing over here. They want something more. Queen's going to get up, and he's gonna be able to jog off on his own. I think he just got popped and wasn't expecting it. Maybe knocked the wind out of him. And it'll be 15 yards after the catch, and that's going to bring him all the way down to about the 41-yard line of Harrison. That's really good for this North Cobb offense. It's sad to see the quarterback go out for a play, but I mean, they're in Hoya territory driving with about 6 minutes left, so that's good for this North Cobb offense and production. You got Cameron Albright coming in at backup quarterback, and I wonder how many plays he's going to be in as Queen's getting assessed on the sideline.
Albright gives to Harrod. Harrod around the right end across the 35-30. Stumbles over his own man inside the 25, and they'll mark him down at the 21. Queen going to get some looks over here. Looks to be maybe being checked in terms of for a concussion. He's shaking his head. Cobweb's kind of shaking around his being checked out also by the AD down on the near sideline along with the trainer. Albright takes a snap. He'll keep right in, has Harrod as the lead blocker. He's got room. He's got a touchdown! 23-yard scamper for Cameron Albright. You may have Queen over here being checked out, but Cameron Albright is checking out the pay dirt as he scampers behind Big Harrod and the lead block for 23 yards and a touchdown.
Just got outside. Albright's a fast kid. he showed his wheels right there, was able to get outside and pick up a touchdown and kind of give one back to the Hoyas saying, you want to hit our quarterback, that's fine. I'm just as good. I'm just as fast as our other quarterback. Bring it, boys.
The extra points up and good. 14-0 your score at 5:50. Queens out, but the Warriors are up. Back in a moment on the Georgia Prep Sports Network and IBN Sports Live on GeorgiaPrepCountry.com.
You to eat chicken for breakfast. And, of course, lunch and dinner. They strongly suggest that you make chicken biscuits, chicken minis, or anything else with chicken your first order of the day. Only at Chick-fil-A.
Welcome back to Albert Matthews Field. You hear the band pumping it up. A little more energy now after the touchdown scamper by Cameron Albright. Creekview now leading Osborne 14-0 at halftime. Camden County in a 9-0 lead over Valdosta, Battle Royale of South Georgia, powerhouse football. 5:50 to play. You're listening to the leader in high school sports, Andrew Wyndham, alongside Matthew Nottingham, Brian McIntyre on the board. There's the toe to the leather. This time the kick going to scamper and roll, going to be fielded at the 1 yard line. Out to the 10, has room, 20, 25, 30, more room to go, 40, 45, make that down to the 49 yard line, and they'll mark him down at the 49 yard line of North Cobb. North Cobb been successful kicking it into the end zone, thought they'd try a little something different, and they paid the price there, Matt.
I almost wonder if they were trying to onside it. They flood the wide side of the field with about 8 guys and left 2 in the kicker on the other side, trying to trick Harrison into thinking they were going to kick it deep and onside and make a big play. But special teams can affect the game so much. And when Chanham took that back, I mean, he was a fast kid, got to the side. If he would have had 1 or 2 more cuts, he might have been looking at pay dirt and making this game interesting again.
Queen down on the near pitch, catching some juices, hydration, and rest, trying to shake out the cobwebs after that personal foul and late hit. Now there'll be another penalty. Personal foul going to be called on North Cobb. 15 yards after the kick return to the 50. That means North Cobb will allow the Hoyas to start at the 35 of North Cobb. If you continue to allow this to happen, Matt, good things will not necessarily come your way.
Well, this Hoya offense needs to get a reality check, and they need to stop rushing things. Their offense is working good. They need to calm down. Nunez needs to breathe in the pocket.
Nunez takes the snap. Gives to Ryan around the left end, looking for room. Across the 35, inside the 35, down to the 32. He'll pick up 3 and make it 2nd down and 7 coming up. Good job by Ryan. Credit him for finding a hole in that all that riff-raff, if you will, after a good contain from the end of the North Cobb defense.
There was a lot of commotion going on. Ryan was very patient, stayed calm, and picked up what he could, which was, better positive than negative.
Jones near sideline, trips to the far side. Nunez drops back, has his receiver, but overthrows him. Number 3, Carter Chatham Carter, slipped on the intended pass over his head.
Nunez's decision-making is a little interesting right here. He threw a back shoulder pass to a receiver that was coming inside. He had his receiver, Deuce White, in the flats wide open, which is out to the side, the wide side, and he had another guy run a streak almost that had single coverage. I don't know if he's hurrying or if he's not just making his progressions, but it's not working for the Hoyas in the passing game.
Man in motion, Nunez drops back, throws over the middle, intended for White. Nunez with that pressure, unable to get the ball down with a little touch and finesse. Ball incomplete.
He's coming off his back feet, running back, looked like a screen, and just threw it above Ryan's head, and that's one of Nunez's weaknesses. When you get pressure on him and when you make him run around the pocket and try and throw the ball, it's not a very accurate pass. We've seen him do that a couple of times. We saw him throw an interception off him. I think he's has not thrown one good pass when he's trying to run out the pocket and throw it deep.
14-0, Walton over Cherokee, halftime in that matchup. 5:02 to play here at Albert Matthews Field. Nunez drops back, has time. Now he's got pressure. Going to go down at the 34-yard line of the North Cobb Warriors. And this drive will stall out just 1 yard farther down the field than where it started, Matt, from the 35. And looks like they'll bring out Jimmy Hutchison again to punt. Nope, it appears they're going to go for it here. Oh, they went for it right there on 4th down. They were unsuccessful here. So 4:55 to play, a turnover on downs again. 2 possessions in a row for the Hoyas. There's a snap. Nope, Queen will keep it. Go right over the left end. And Queen, who looked very shaken up, looks to be okay. That's a good sign for the North Cobb Warriors as he picks up about 8 on the carry. Stumbling, rumbling, and bumbling, moving forward with the pile.
That just shows how strong this kid is. He'll get popped and step out for a couple plays, and then Hill will take it himself and pick up yards. I mean, that's impressive. Most quarterbacks are going to hand it off and not get hit, but he took the hit.
Albright going to give to Harrod around the left end. He's got lots of room. 45, 40, 35, and pushed out of bounds. Looks like we have a flag down on the play on the far sideline. Probably a block in the back, a clip, or a hold.
It looked like a hold as the corner was trying to break off. He extended his arms. Xavier Borshatti looks like he might be called for a holding penalty, which after a good run, that's really going to set him back about 10 yards, and that does hurt a drive. They were looking to be inside the 35, and now they're going to be outside the 35.
So Queen ran 1 play and came back out. Looks like he's lobbying his father to get back in the game. He may elect to let him rest for the rest of the half as we're at 4:15. And we'll mark off the flag from the spot of the foul, so it'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Still enough for a first down after the big gain from Harrod. Just will knock off about 10 yards at the end of the pickup. And Albright will bring the North Cobb Warriors to the line at the 45 of the Hoyas. Albright in the gun. Twins left side. Albright snaps, fakes, keeps up the middle. He'll have the 40 and 5 yards on the first down carry. 2nd down and 5 coming up, Matt.
That's the thing with having your dad as your coach. He's going to look out for your safety and not the team's, and he's doing a really good job of trying to limit his son's touches so he doesn't get a concussion and hurt himself, especially later on down the road when it comes playoff times and they don't have this great sophomore quarterback.
There's Queen back in now, rolls left near sideline. He'll tuck it. Now he'll throw it. Pass going to be complete just past the first down marker at the 35-yard line, and they'll move the chains. Pass complete to Xavier Borshatti. Nice job by Queen. Kind of snuck back in the game with the call and the play and picked up the first down.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of trying to hide him and disguise what they're going to do, and it paid off right there.
Queen moving the offense methodically down the field. He'll tuck it, keep it himself, tucks it up, and he'll go inside the 30 down to the 28 and stopped there. 5 on the pickup, 2nd and 5 coming up.
Queen's not afraid to take a hit. He took on a linebacker in Hunter Fuqua and he about ran him over and said, hey, if you want to play ball, let's play ball. I'm just as big as you are. We'll go to battle. And, he trucked him and picked up a good 5 yards.
Queen will have Harrod to his right. Gives to Harrod. Nope, he'll keep up the middle. Going to be snagged right there by number 45, Hunter Fuqua, but not before he leans forward to pick up about 2 on the carry. 3rd down, and we'll call it 3, maybe 3.5 to go. 2:54 to play as North Cobb leads on homecoming evening 14-0 over the Hoyas.
They're doing a good job of moving the ball and switching up what they're going to do between Queen and Harrod, and it's really paying off for them right now in this drive.
Snap, Queen going to fake the option, tucks it up inside the end. He'll have maybe one more. They'll give him a great spot down to the 22. First down for the Warriors, and they'll move the chains for 10 more.
With this spread, they're doing a really good job of trying to maintain control the tempo and maintain the time, as we've seen them run it about 3 or 4 times in a row right here, trying to not let this Hoya offense back on the field and kill this Hoya defense.
Harrod will be to the right flank of Queen. There's a snap. Queen gives to Harrod. Nope, he'll keep it again. An incredible job by Queen faking to Harrod. When Harrod gets on the end and has that success, it makes that ball fake oh so nice.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of reading the end and waiting for the end to decide what they're going to do between Heron and Queen. It's really working for them as Harrison's defense is becoming really aggressive, and they're playing that screen or that draw into this aggressive defense.
We've breached the 2-minute mark in the first half of play. 1:53 and counting in the second quarter. Queen fakes, now bubble screen, throws it incomplete to Nick Miller. He simply hurried the pass there, Matt.
Yeah, he's trying to get it out to Miller really quickly, try and put Miller on the end and pick up some yards, and really rush the pass and throw it at his feet.
Laundry down on the field. We'll wait for him to sort it out. Sort the colors from the whites.
This North Cobb offense is doing a really good job of controlling the time, as this has really burnt a lot of time and controlling the tempo. Not such a fast spread, but slowing it down and hitting the little things and moving the ball.
So the referees will wave off the laundry. Instead, it'll be clean laundry instead of dirty laundry, and they'll put the ball in play, 3rd and 7 from the 19. Queen in the gun, and we'll have a timeout called. North Cobb will take their final timeout of the halftime. 2 still remaining for the Hoyas. 1:49 will take it with them on the field. North Cobb leads 14-0. 1:49 to play in the second quarter of action.
Cows want you to eat chicken for breakfast. And, of course, lunch and dinner. They strongly suggest that you make chicken biscuits, chicken minis, or anything else with chicken your first order of the day. Only at Chick-fil-A.
Thanks for listening. AAA Sign Crafters, one of the many sponsors. Make sure you support our sponsors. They make the games possible that we bring to you live on GeorgiaPrepCountry.com. IBN Sports, the leader in high school sports. Check us out at YouTube.IBN Sports Network. Click subscribe for the leader in high school sports. Queen takes a snap, drops back, looks for the corner. It's up, it's complete, and it is not a touchdown. It'll be just shy. But you saw that athletic ability and that aggressive, good hands catch by Xavier Borshatti.
Borshatti freaking jumped out of the gym to go get that. He went up like a mad dog, like you said, getting pork chops. I mean, I'm impressed with his ups, and that was just impressive to go up and get it and bring it back down.
Borshatti went up, jumped off the top of the building, and landed back on his feet like an agile little kitty cat. But unfortunately, it'll be negated as there's a flag on the field. That'll move North Cobb back. We'll wait for the official call and the spot.
It's they had a lineman go downfield, and that's a 5-yard penalty, and that kills a nice pass by Queen that would have put him at the 1, and it just backs them up, and it hurts their drive.
Would love to know at halftime whether Queen is concerned about the number of penalties. They've had some very, very serious penalties. They've been able to dodge them, but they've definitely handicapped several drives. Queen in the gun, Harrod to his right, drops back, looks deep, wants the end zone, has his receiver off the hands of the intended receiver, number 12, Xavier Borshatti. Looks like there could be a flag on the play.
Borshatti was cutting across the field wide open, just behind, threw a little bit behind him, and I wonder if the flag had something to do with the way that the pass was thrown. Maybe he saw a holding penalty and tried to get it out there real quick so it would assess after the catch.
Queen going to come to the near sideline. Looks like he's going to ask for help. Penalty will be on the Hoyas. Going to be defensive holding. I think Borshatti was lobbying for that call. Still, it should have been a catchable ball by Borshatti, but they'll get the penalty, move the ball 5 yards, and we'll have about 3rd down and 3 to go as the ball rests at about the 14-yard line. There's a snap. Around the end, Harrod, he's got room inside the 5, barreling ahead down to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal to go for the North Cobb Warriors.
Herron's a beast when he gets the ball. He's going to run you over. He's going to keep driving his legs. He did that, and it paid off. They brought Albright in there trying to get speed with speed, And it really messed up the Hoya defense as they were reading Albright, not Herod.
Kell 48-0 over North Springs at halftime on homecoming. Don't mess with the Longhorns. They'll hook you on homecoming. Queen under center, allowing the clock to run. Now he'll take the snap. Give, that's Herod straight ahead. He doesn't have it. He'll be shy of the touchdown by a yard.
Herod just trying to get right up the middle, use his power that he has to pick up the touchdown. He actually stretched the ball out trying to cross the plane before he went down, but he was down before his arms reached over the end zone. But a good job by this North Cobb offense to keep moving the ball through all this adversity that they've had.
Queen keeps the ball around the left tackle's backside. It's good for a touchdown at 38.8 seconds. And a half, Matt, that does not seem to go as smoothly as North Cobb would like it, yet they still lead 21-0 with about 38 seconds to play.
Midway or towards the end of the first quarter and midway through the second quarter, this Hoya defense really showed us something that I think North Cobb hadn't seen or had prepared for, bringing some pressure, playing man coverage, just confusing Queen. And they did a good job. They actually had a chance. If they hadn't turned over the ball, this could be a completely different score right now, almost going into halftime.
21-0, the extra point good. 38 seconds to play here in the first half as we prepare for the halftime break in the homecoming court festivities and celebration. Fun seeing the little one over here. The video production teacher and coach here at North Cobb High School. Got the family here for the homecoming festivities.
The next future warrior.
Warrior Nation in the infancy.
Gotta stay together. I wouldn't be surprised if North Cobb, they do flood the wide side of the field with about 7 guys. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and go for an onside kick real quick, try and get the ball back before the quarter ends and try and, surprise Harrison and go up 28-0 at halftime and say, you know what, we got this. We're going to go back out there. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to put this game out early like they did against Walton.
33-13, Cedartown bouncing back after a loss to Ridgeland last week over Southwest Whitfield. That kick will go into the end zone and it'll be a touchback at the 20 for the Hoyas. Is apparently Queen and company learned a little something after a squib kick the last time.
Yeah, Chatham took it off and went deep with it, taking about 49 yards actually before the penalty, the late hit. But this Hoya offense needs to just calm down, come back out here in the second half, and work on the stuff that they had going for them. They're moving the ball, the underneath passes, and especially Nunez staying in the pocket and not being flushed to run around, because that's where he makes his mistakes.
Nunez going to kneel the ball down instead of that sweep right option pitch into the end zone that we saw against Alpharetta at approximately the same time and location earlier in the season. Maybe one more snap necessary to meet the halftime break. Trailing 21-0 as North Cobb leads at homecoming and Albert Matthews Field. That'll be the final play. We'll take an extensive break for a word from our sponsors. Be back with stats, the A&W chiropractic adjustments of the game, and more. You're listening to the Georgia Prep Sports Network on Georgia Prep Country and IBN Sports Video on Demand.